Every day, people like you struggle with procrastination and laziness, while others seem to have unlimited willpower that brings them to the pinnacle of success. These people know that understanding habits is the key to achieving their goals. If you want to achieve what most people can only dream of, you must first master your habits. Habits are the routine behaviors that are performed regularly and often subconsciously. We form them through our repeated actions, which create neural pathways in the brain, making behavior automatic over time. Habits can be both beneficial and detrimental, depending on their nature. Positive habits, such as exercising regularly, working on projects, or maintaining a tidy workspace, can contribute to personal growth, well-being, and productivity. On the other hand, negative habits, such as procrastination, excessive screen time, or unhealthy eating, can stop all your progress and destroy your life. Understanding how habits are formed and how to change them is instrumental in achieving your personal and professional goals. By identifying triggers, implementing cues, and consistently practicing desired behaviors, people can cultivate positive habits and break free from harmful ones, ultimately leading to success in achieving their goals. There are many ways to describe the factors that create a habit. Most of the books on this subject, such as The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg and Atomic Habits by James Clear, ultimately find four main elements of habit formation. First, there's a cue. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit. It can be any kind of signal or stimulus that prompts you to start performing a particular behavior. Cues can be external, such as a specific time of day, a particular location, or the presence of certain people. They can also be internal, such as a feeling, emotion, or thought. Cues can be further categorized into time, location, emotional state, and other people in your environment. Certain times of day act as cues. For example, waking up in the morning may cue you to make a coffee. Being in a specific place can also trigger certain behaviors. For instance, arriving at work may cue you to check your email. Feelings or emotions can also serve as cues. Stress, for example, may cue you to engage in stress eating or smoking. And finally, the presence of certain individuals can also act as cues. For instance, seeing a friend might cue you to engage in a particular activity you enjoy together. Identifying and understanding your cues is essential for understanding your habits and how to change them. Once your mind is alerted by the cue, a craving prompts you to act. This is the feeling that pushes you to perform the habit. Cravings are driven by the anticipation of the reward that comes from completing the habit. They create the motivation to perform the habit loop. For example, if the cue is feeling stressed, the craving might be the desire for relief, which leads to the behavior of stress eating in anticipation of the reward of comfort or distraction. The response is the actual behavior or action that you take in response to the cue and craving. This is the habit itself, the thing you do automatically without conscious thought. Responses can vary widely depending on the habit. They can be physical actions, such as going for a run, checking your phone, or biting your nails. They can also be mental actions, such as worrying, daydreaming, or planning. Eventually, responses can become automatic through repetition and reinforcement, becoming deeply ingrained in your behavior. Finally, the reward is the benefit or satisfaction that you gain from completing your habit. It's the positive outcome that reinforces the behavior and makes you more likely to repeat it in the future. Rewards can be tangible, such as food, money, or praise, or they can be intangible, such as a feeling of accomplishment, relaxation, or relief. But they are also what teach your brain to associate the cue and the response with positive outcomes, strengthening your habit loop. Rewards are subjective and can vary from person to person. What constitutes a reward for one person may not be rewarding for another. Understanding these four elements can help you better understand how habits work. By manipulating the cues, cravings, responses, or rewards associated with a habit, you can change your behavior in positive ways. All positive behavior is fueled by habits. Let's imagine an entrepreneur named Jeff who has developed the good habit of starting his workday with focused planning. Jeff's cue is opening his phone at the beginning of the workday, signaling the start of their productive routine. This could be a consistent daily ritual, such as sitting down at their desk, powering up their phone, and preparing to tackle the tasks for the day. As Jeff opens his phone, he experiences a craving for organization, clarity, and productivity. He desires to start the day with a clear plan of action, knowing what tasks need to be accomplished and how to prioritize them. He anticipates the reward of feeling in control of his workload, making progress towards his goals, and ultimately achieving success. Jeff responds to the cue and craving by immediately launching his task management software or opening his planner to review his schedule and tasks for the day. He spends a few minutes reviewing his goals, prioritizing tasks, and outlining a plan for the day, breaking down larger projects into more manageable steps. Jeff feels a sense of empowerment and focus from having a clear roadmap for his day, reducing the likelihood of feeling overwhelmed or scattered. As he progresses through his tasks, he experiences the satisfaction of completing each item on his list, moving closer to his goals. Additionally, by constantly starting his day with a focused planning session, Jeff may notice improvements in his productivity, efficiency, and overall performance, which further reinforces the habit. Opening his phone triggers Jeff to crave organization and productivity. He responds to this craving by engaging in a planning session, outlining his tasks and goals for the day. The rewards experienced from this habit reinforce his behavior, making him more likely to continue starting his workday with a focused planning session in the future. Over time, this habit contributes to Jeff's success as an entrepreneur by helping them stay organized, focused, and productive in their work. Additionally, almost all bad behavior is also influenced by the power of habits. Let's imagine a scenario where an individual named Bob has developed a bad habit of mindlessly browsing social media every time he opens his phone. The cue for Bob is opening his phone. This could be triggered by various situations such as boredom or procrastination. For instance, whenever Bob finishes a task or takes a break, he automatically reaches for his device to check his social media accounts. Before opening his phone, Bob experiences a craving for distraction, entertainment, or social connection. He desires a quick break from work or an escape from boredom, seeking instant gratification from scrolling through social media feeds. He anticipates the reward of the relief from stress or monotony, as well as the enjoyment of seeking updates from friends or engaging with entertaining content online. In response to the cue and craving, Bob habitually navigates to his favorite social media platforms and starts scrolling through his feed without much conscious thought. He spends minutes or even hours mindlessly consuming content, clicking on links, watching videos, and liking posts, becoming absorbed in the online world. Bob experiences several rewards from his social media browsing habit. Initially, he may feel a sense of relaxation or amusement from the entertaining content he encounters. However, this reward is short-lived, and he may soon find himself feeling guilty or unproductive as he realizes he has wasted valuable time that could have been spent on more meaningful activities. Despite the negative consequences, the immediate gratification of distraction and entertainment reinforces the habit. In this example, the cue of opening his phone triggers Bob's craving for distraction. He responds to this craving by mindlessly browsing social media, which provides temporary relief, but ultimately leads to wasted time and decreased productivity. The reward he experiences from this habit, although fleeting, reinforced the behavior, making it difficult for him to break the cycle. In both examples, the cue, craving, response, and reward cycle makes their behavior automatic. To understand your habits, you can employ various methods of self-awareness and observation. First, take some time to reflect on your daily routines. Think about the activities you do regularly, without much conscious thought. Consider your morning and evening rituals, and your reactions to certain situations. Then start writing these habits down in a habit tracker. Create a simple chart or list where you can note down the habits you want to track and mark each instance of when you perform them. This can help you visualize patterns and trends in your behavior and identify recurring habits. Once you identify your habits, pay attention to the cues or triggers that prompt your habits. Notice the situations, emotions, or environmental factors that precede your actions. Common triggers include specific times of day, locations, social cues, emotional states, or preceding actions. By identifying your triggers, you can gain insight into the underlying motivations behind your habits. Identifying your habits is an important step in your journey, as it allows you to consciously evaluate which habits serve you well and which ones you may want to change or eliminate. Once you understand your bad habits, you can start implementing strategies to disrupt the habit loop and replace negative behaviors with more positive alternatives. First, identify your habit loop. Understand the cue, craving, response, and reward associated with your bad habit. Identify what triggers your habit, the desire or motivation behind it, the behavior itself, and the reward you receive from it. Next, define your desired outcome and set clear, achievable goals for breaking the habit. Determine why you want to change the habit and what positive changes you hope to achieve. Then, alter the cues that trigger your bad habit. Change your environment, routines, or associations to reduce exposure to the cue or make it more difficult to engage in the habit. For example, if you want to reduce snacking, remove unhealthy snacks from your home or office and replace them with healthier options. Identify the underlying cravings driving your bad habit and find healthier ways to fulfill them. Seek alternative activities or behaviors that satisfy the same needs or desires, without the negative consequences. For instance, if you tend to eat out of boredom, find alternative ways to occupy your time, such as going for a walk, practicing a hobby, or calling a friend. Replace the unwanted behavior with positive alternatives. Choose a different action or response when you feel the urge to engage in a bad habit. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness to interrupt the habit loop and consciously choose a different behavior. For example, if you habitually reach for your phone when bored, replace this response with activities such as reading a book, doing a puzzle, or engaging in creative projects. Identify alternatives that satisfy the same craving as your bad habit. Seek out activities or experiences that provide similar feelings of satisfaction or fulfillment without the negative consequences. For example, if you typically reward yourself with sugary snacks, find healthier treats or activities that still provide a sense of enjoyment and reward. Practice your new behaviors regularly until they become automatic and ingrained. Be patient with yourself and acknowledge that breaking habits takes time and effort. Share your goals and progress with the supportive friend, family member, or mentor who can help hold you accountable. Having someone encourage and support you can provide motivation and accountability as you work towards breaking your bad habits. Keep track of your behaviors and progress towards breaking the habit. Use journaling, habit tracking apps, or other tools to monitor your actions and evaluate your success. Celebrate your achievements and milestones along the way to stay motivated and focused. Most importantly, you must remember to stay committed to your goals and persist through challenges and setbacks. Remember that breaking habits is a process that requires patience, perseverance, and self-reflection. By following these steps, you can successfully break your bad habits and cultivate healthier, more positive behavior. Behavior change doesn't happen overnight, but once you've built positive new habits, you will start seeing progress towards your goals.